This morning on DC News Now, DC police releasing body cam footage of a deadly shooting. The moments leading up to the incident sending some in the community to protest in the district. Mostly sunny skies in the DMV. We're tracking high temperatures in the mid-80s throughout the week. Plus candidates head-to-head. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump hours away from their first presidential debate. How they are preparing for the big night. Then bus driver shortage. How Frederick County schools are working to cover all routes with limited staffing. And hitting all the right notes.
Seeing us perform inspires them.
Local students' journey to becoming a role model in the music world.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, good morning, and thanks for starting your Tuesday with us here on DC News Now. It is 6 o'clock. I'm Tanaya Wright.
Yeah, good morning to you. I'm Corey James. Happy Tuesday to you. Shanika's going to have the latest on those roads. Let's get things started with meteorologist Jackie Lowe. That forecast today, things a bit warmer than yesterday, but less humidity, always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have that low humidity still in place, so it still feels nice out there. It's going to feel comfortable later on today, although it'll be slightly warmer than yesterday. Those current temperatures before you step out the door this morning, we did just drop back down again into those upper 40s in Manassas. So yet another morning, we're starting off in the upper 40s in that area. Currently holding into those lower 50s in Frederick, middle 50s for Hagerstown. Just shy of 60 now in DC at the top of this hour. We were at 60 last hour. Now we're at 59 degrees in DC along with Annapolis. High pressure in control. That keeps us dry and quiet again today. That'll also keep us dry and quiet through the end of this week. So heads up. Still going to be tracking really nice weather through the end of this week too. We'll see those high temperatures today climbing back into those middle 80s, or I should say low to mid 80s across the area. Lower 80s farther off towards the north and west under ample amounts of sunshine. But I'll have more details and talking about the rest of that 7-day coming up. But Shanika's back with the latest on those roadways at the 6 o'clock hour. How's it looking?
All right. Yeah. Top of the 6 o'clock hour. Things are moving fast this morning. Looking at BW Parkway heading north and southbound, you are seeing some slowdowns heading southbound. So definitely watch out for that and give yourself more time traveling. Now, I haven't seen any crashes in this area, so let's just hope many people are it's jam packed as many people are traveling right now to work or school past Powder Mill Road. So over to Montgomery County, we've been talking about this one crash off of the ICC heading east right near Briggs Cheney Road. So expect some delays in the later hours of the morning if it's still there. But right now you are out of the woods and overall things are looking very smooth out there. So hopefully it stays that way, guys.
All right, Shanika, thank you. DC police are investigating several break-ins and vandalism that happened overnight.
That is right. DC News Now's John Marie Sase is live at City Center, one of the areas impacted by this. So, John Marie, there's still heavy police presence out there.
Yeah, good morning. Definitely a lot of heavy police presence around the entire city center, just further down the road. That's where a lot of them are. But we moved up just so that you can take a look at one of these sources, one of the businesses that were hit during all of the chaos overnight. Now, this is Morgenthau and Fredericks. You can see a lot of glass inside the store. They finally just boarded it up not too long ago, maybe about an hour ago. They just finished boarding it up and painting it. But just look at still, you can see all of the damage on the inside, just glass everywhere. Now, one officer tells us that they didn't steal anything, but a lot of the stores were just broken into last night. Now, overall, there was about 6 businesses broken into and about 6 incidents of destruction of property as well. Now, MPD says that areas of Georgetown, the store near 8th Street, Logan Circle, Columbia Heights, and also here in City Center, these areas were hit. Now, property was destroyed and businesses were burglarized, and police are investigating about 6 burglaries and 6 destruction of property offenses. Now, they have arrested at least 5 people, and they are being charged with destruction of property and fleeing from police. Now, in a statement, police says overnight groups of individuals decided to destroy property and burglarize businesses throughout the city. As a result of the incidents overnight, MPD will continue to maintain and increase police presence throughout the city. And MPD does not tolerate acts of violence or destruction of property. Now, again, this is just another look at the Morgenthau Fredericks right here on 8th Street in City Center. You can just see all of that glass all over inside. Again, they have boarded this up. Also around the corner, the Gucci store was also broken into as well. That front left side of the door was boarded up as well, but you can see the security gate that was damaged during this entire incident. We actually spoke to several neighbors of people who are heading into work and walking around the area. Many of them just shocked and surprised about what they woke up to see, just heavy police presence everywhere. But we're going to continue to follow this story and bring you the latest. For now, reporting in Northwest D.C., I'm Yalmari Sase, DC News Now.
All right, Yamari, thank you. Time right now is 6:04. We want to warn you that the footage you're about to see, it could be disturbing. D.C. police releasing body cam footage of the deadly shooting involving 26-year-old Justin Robinson.
The video was released last night. Take a look.
Hands up! Hands up!
Now, what you just heard was officers yelling at Robinson before he was shot. The shooting happened more than a week ago at a McDonald's in Southeast. Police say Robinson was found unconscious in a car at the restaurant's drive-thru. Police say they saw a gun in the car and called for backup. That is when Robinson woke up and police began surrounding the car.
When there's a body-worn camera footage, you see it from one perspective, and what we wanted to do was to give the community the opportunity to see it from different angles. Anytime there's a loss of life, you know, it's a tragic thing for our community, whether it's via an officer-involved shooting, whether it's one of our officers who loses his or her life, or whether it's a community member that loses his or her life.
Robinson was a violence interrupter for the Cure the Streets program. His family initially did not want the footage to be released, but changed their minds yesterday afternoon. And a man recovering at an area hospital after a crash in Northeast. D.C. Fire and EMS shared these photos on X. Now, this all happened early this morning on Franklin and Lincoln Streets. Crews say 3 vehicles were involved. As of right now, there is no word on the condition of the other drivers.
D.C.'s Attorney General is going after more landlords for what he calls are extreme housing code violations. Attorney General Brian Schwab suing 2 property operators, one in Northeast, the other is in Southeast. According to his office, renters are forced to live in unsafe conditions at both locations. Some tenants agreeing with the lawsuits because of what they say are poor conditions, in some cases involving rats in their units.
Asking us to pay our rent on time and pay water bill and pay all these essentials and stuff like that, but y'all not taking care of us the way we need to be taken care of.
Schwab is calling for repairs made to the buildings. He is also looking to compensate affected renters. Management for both properties did not return our calls. The man accused of dropping a loaded gun in a storm drain that later went off killing a D.C. police officer is back in court today.
27-year-old Tyrell Bailey facing a bond hearing later this afternoon. Our Liberty Simmons live outside of D.C. Superior Court breaking down the charges he is facing. Liberty, good morning.
Good morning, Tanaya and Corey. Well, Bailey is facing serious gun charges that can leave him behind bars for decades. And today, a judge here will decide whether or not to grant him bail. Now, 27-year-old Tyrell Bailey is not being charged directly for the death of MPD investigator Wayne David, but he does face multiple charges, including possession of a firearm by a felon, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, and unlawfully discarding a firearm and ammunition. During his first court appearance, prosecutors showed these photos of Bailey, indicated by the red circle. They say it shows Bailey jumping down from a wall on I-295 before unlawfully discarding the gun down a storm drain and taking off. Investigator David tried to retrieve the gun when it accidentally went off, killing him. Bailey's grandmother also attended his first court appearance last week, and she defended her grandson, saying he wasn't doing anything suspicious that night. And MPD says the funeral service for investigator David will take place this Thursday at Ebenezer AME Church in Maryland, and the bond hearing here is set for 3:30 this afternoon. For now, live here in Northwest D.C., Liberty Simmons, D.C. News Now.
Thank you, Liberty. A suspected drunk driver is being blamed for killing a water authority worker in Silver Spring. Montgomery County police say the WSSC employee died while working on Sunday morning. Investigators say Ernest Dyson working at the intersection of New Hampshire Avenue and Rodney Road when a driver ran into him, killing him. They say the driver stayed on the scene. Anyone who witnessed this accident asked to contact police. And a 16-year-old boy being charged as an adult for the deadly shooting at a high school in Harford County. Deputies say Jalen Prince shot his 15-year-old classmate in a bathroom at Joppatown High School. That teen died at the hospital. Investigators say the two knew each other, and what started as a fight escalated with Prince shooting the teen. He is now facing murder charges.
Time right now, what's coming up on 610. The Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore is one step closer to getting rebuilt. The Maryland Transportation Authority now accepting proposals from construction companies interested in the project. The agency says the top 3 firms will be awarded contracts worth $20 million each. They will oversee construction activities, ensure compliance with safety regulations, and also maintain standards. Interested teams can access the request for proposals at eMaryland Marketplace Advantage. Next Monday, a virtual conference is taking place to give additional details about the project. In Hagerstown, Maryland, Olympic wrestler Aaron Brooks was honored at a special ceremony over the weekend in his hometown. He won a bronze medal in Paris this summer. The 24-year-old attended North Hagerstown High School. He also graduated from Penn State, where he won 4 national championships. Brooks is the first Washington County Olympian since the 1932 Summer Games.
And the Washington Capitals have a new look for the new season. They're going to have a TikTok logo on their jerseys, on the road jerseys. The social media platform is now an official partner of the Caps and will also be the title sponsor of the team's 50th anniversary celebration. Fans can expect TikTok signage at Capital One Arena as well. The deal will continue for the next 3 seasons. All right, 6:10 now on a Tuesday. District Council members' quest for transparency.
Her push for oversight of D.C.'s 911 call center, plus also ahead this morning, new bus routes in Montgomery County, Maryland, how neighbors and officials say it will boost local travel and also the economy, which could be a good thing for people who are trying to make it to work or to school. And taking a live look outside this morning as meteorologist Jackie Lair, people get ready for work.
Yeah, they're getting ready for work, and we're starting off with temperatures in the 50s for most areas, right around 60 closer towards D.C. But later on today, under ample amounts of sunshine, we'll see those highs, low to mid 80s. We'll have more details of the rest of that 7-day right after the break.